The time is 5 o'clock. Here is the world news at 5. First, the top stories. Ogun State organized labor split over protests against October salary arrears. Top Yoruba leaders meet, demand true federalism to move Nigeria forward. National Assembly worried over discrepancies in the 2017 budget bill. Ali Madu Sharif to move into PDP national headquarters in Abuja on Friday. In foreign, Mexico rejects U.S. new deportation policy. South Africa targets the rich with high tax rates to balance 2017 budget. Good evening, I am Agimerio Oihinan, bringing you the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. A protest planned for Wednesday by the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) against unpaid October 2016 salaries by the Ogun State government has been cancelled following a split in the rank of the organized labor in the state. Following the split, NLC President Ayuba Waba directed the state NLC to cancel the planned protest. The state NLC last Thursday had notified the state government of the planned protest, but other major unions in the state say they were only informed of it last Monday. And following this, top leaders of other major unions, including the Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools, ASUS, Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, Trade Union Congress, TUC, and the National Joint Public Service Negotiation Council, said they will not join the planned protest. The union leaders who spoke with Rock City FM in Abeokuta accused the state chairman of NLC, Mr. Akim Ambali, of taking such a decision without due consultation with other labor unions in the state. All the unions last October had embarked on a strike over the unremitted deductions from workers' salaries by the state government and unpaid pensions, gratuities, and other workers' entitlements. The students of the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Mapoli, Abeokuta will soon enjoy a scholarship scheme to reward academic excellence. A former rector of the institution, Alhaji Wahid Kadri, made the promise at retirement and recognition service held in his honor by the Mapoli management in Abeokuta. The institution's rector, Professor Oludele Itiola, eulogized Kadri as a mentor whose health of experience in the profession and academic parlance gave birth to many developmental projects on the campus. Kadri was described by the gathering as an epitome of humility and a visionary leader for bringing transformation to the institution during his tenure as the fourth rector between 1998 and 2006. Responding, the former rector, who appreciated the warm reception accorded him, asked the Polytechnic management to revive the MKO Abiola lecture series, which began during his tenure, and for lecturers to do more on research and paperwork. Top Yoruba leaders have met in Lagos and renewed their demand for the introduction of true federalism and restructuring of the country. The leaders are drawn from several socio-cultural organizations in the southwest, including Afenifere, the Yoruba Council of Elders, Afenifere Renewal Group, and Yoruba Unity Forum. Their spokesman, Yinka Ojumaki, addressing newsmen after the meeting, said the meeting was not sectional and would pave the way for a larger summit of Yoruba leaders. Some of the Southwest leaders at the meeting included Chief Ayo Adebanjo, retired General Alani Akinriade, Archbishop Ayo Ladigulu, Senator Femi Okunromu, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba, Chief Kehinde Shofola, Dr. Femi Olajide, and Chief Shupo Shunibare. Former head of interim government, Chief Ernest Shonekan, has accused Nigerians wishing President Muhammadu Buhari dead of not following the teachings of Jesus Christ. Shonekan, speaking at the 2017 Standing Committee of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Abeokuta, explains that Jesus Christ admonished Christians to love their neighbors as themselves. In other countries, the elder statesman says people pray for their leaders when they are sick. On the various challenges facing the country, Chief Shonekan blames the economic and political turmoil on some Nigerians who are expected to put in practice the teaching of Jesus Christ in their undertaking, but failed to do so. The Senate has expressed concern over the discrepancies in the proposed 2017 appropriation bill now before its committees. Leadership of the National Assembly, including the Senate President and Speaker of the House of Representatives, is expected to meet Acting President Yemi Osinbajo over the failure of some heads of ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to appear before the National Assembly committees. The National Assembly leadership is also expected to draw the attention of Osinbajo to the discrepancies noticed in the appropriation bill. Already, the various committees working on the 2017 appropriation bill have given heads of NDAs up till Friday to appear before them, or they will use their discretion on their budgetary allocation. The Nigeria Customs Service has confirmed seizing 1,870 bags of rice with a market value of 2,445,000 naira during an overnight raid of some shops at Songo in Ogun State. Traders at Cairo Market in Songo had blocked the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway on Monday morning to protest the raid, during which the claimed customs operatives broke into the shops and carted away bags of rice in 20 trucks. But the spokesman of the Federal Operations Unit FOU of Customs in Lagos, Atta Jerome, in an interview with Rock City FM says the unit got intelligence that some vehicles and motorcycles overnight brought a large quantity of smuggled rice to a warehouse close to Songo Motor Park. Jerome explains that the unit's operatives traced the warehouse and found bags of rice dumped in front of it around 3 a.m. The customs officers, according to him, carted the smuggled rice away in 7 trucks. He denied the claim by the affected traders that the shops were broken into during the raid, adding that the smugglers of the rice were not intercepted while conveying the rice to avoid the loss of life. National Chairman of PDP, Ali Madu Sharif, says it has finalized arrangement to move into the party national headquarters in Abuja, shot by police, following the leadership crisis. Sharif, addressing a PDP delegation from the southwest of his office in Maitama district of Abuja, promised to relocate to the Wadata Plaza headquarters of PDP on Friday. He told the delegates that all the necessary documents for reopening the secretariat had been sent to the appropriate quarters, while asking those still challenging his chairmanship to wait till after the proposed national convention. Pledging not to join issues with his detractors, Sharif urged them not to divide PDP. Up next, we bring you foreign business and sport news. Please stay with us. On the foreign scene, Mexico has condemned new guidelines issued by the United States under which almost all illegal immigrants can be subject to deportation. The new rules include sending undocumented people to Mexico even if they're not Mexicans. But Mexican Foreign Minister Lee says his country cannot accept unilateral decisions imposed by one government on another. 2 top U.S. officials are in Mexico to discuss the measures. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and the head of Homeland Security John Kelly will hold talks with President Enrique Pena Nieto amid one of the most serious rifts between the two neighbors in recent years. Donald Trump's government has revoked guidance to U.S. public schools that allowed transgender students to use toilets matching their gender identity. The guidance issued by his predecessor, Barack Obama, had been hailed as a victory for transgender rights, but critics said it threatened other students' privacy and safety and should be decided at state level. Mr. Obama's directive had sparked a backlash across the country with legal challenges from 13 states. The latest change will have no immediate impact because Mr. Obama's directive has already been temporarily blocked by a judge in Texas since August. On Wednesday, the Trump administration sent a letter to U.S. schools outlining the change, saying the previous measure had caused confusion. South African Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan has targeted the rich in his annual budget, announcing a new top tax rate of 45% in his 2017 budget. It will apply to annual incomes of $114,000 and will hit around 100,000 people. Mr. Gordon is battling weak tax receipts, which during the current financial year have been $2.3 billion less than expected. He pointed out that 95% of wealth is in the hands of 10% of the population nearly 23 years after the end of apartheid, and it is still very much skewed along racial lines. The minister warned of growing impatience and ferment over post-apartheid inequality. In business, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has cautioned the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, against the proposed enforcement of the Stamp Duty Act. NECA Director General Olusegun Oshinowo recalls that a court of appeal had directed the Revenue Agency to stop charging 50 kobo on every transaction. Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had raised the stamp duties from 20 kobo per transaction to 50 kobo. Oshinowo accused the Apex Bank of disobeying an order of a court, which to the organized private sector is worrisome. Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, has called for a review of the 20% duty imposed on imported drugs. The society, in a presentation to acting president Yemi Osinbajo, says the tariff will lead to a massive increase in prices of drug in the country. The importation of drug before the new tariff does not attract any duty. The society's president, Hamed Yahya, warns that the 20% tariff will push up the average price of malaria drug to 1,600 naira and may hit intolerable level before the end of the first quarter of this year. Finally, sport news. Ejike Ozwanyi has made a successful bow for Bidvest weight as he found the target in an Absur Premier encounter against Baroka FC on Wednesday. The Nigerian international joins the Clever Boys from Mamelodi Sundowns owing to lack of regular playing time, and he made an instant impact for Gavin Huntsman after replacing Gabadiho Mwango in the 77th minute in his side's 5-0 thumping of the visitors. Ozwanyi slammed in an audacious to put Wits 4 goals up before substitute Fakamani Malambi completed the rout. That was the world news at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun State organized labor split over protest against October salary arrears. Top Yoruba leaders met, demanded true federalism to move Nigeria forward. National Assembly worried over discrepancies in the 2017 budget bill. Ali Madi Sharif to move into PDP national headquarters in Abuja on Friday. In foreign, Mexico rejected U.S. new deportation policy. South Africa targeted the rich with high tax rate to balance 2017 budget. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Agemerio O. I Hinan. Good evening.